What's going on, everybody? We're going to talk about the Masters a little bit here. Some of the things we saw down the stretch, specifically from Cameron Smith, something that I think could really help a lot of players as you're going through, and how he works on his game, because it's kind of something he fights within his whole game. And we're going to talk a little bit about a training aid that he uses that I love. So we'll get to it. What's going on, everybody? Scott Hogan. We're here out at Stony Creek. Let's talk about the Masters. So really exciting event. Congratulations to Scotty Scheffler on his win. That was really cool to see. I really like his game. For the record, we'll talk more about his game in the future, but he is somebody that just gets the ball around the golf course, and I think it's somebody that a lot of people should look at what he's doing. Maybe you don't copy him, swing for swing, but the way he just makes the ball move around the golf course, that's the name of the game, and that's what you need to be able to do to shoot lower scores, and right now he's doing that better than anybody. So really exciting stuff. Now, there was a little bit of a challenge that was coming through from Cam Smith, a player that I really like. I kind of like him for a couple of reasons. One, he's got a good short game, great wedge player. He's actually sneaky long with his game, but just a really kind of good player. I've known about him for a while from Australia, and he's just somebody that I think is fun to watch. Now, he was playing really good. He had a couple of interesting holes, and he was kind of struggling at times with his golf swing. And then it really came to a head on number 12, where it just got him into a lot of trouble. Probably a bad decision is part of that, but he just had a really bad swing at the wrong time, and that led to pretty much his tournament being over. So let's talk about what happened to him there, because I think this is something that can be really helpful for people when you are playing golf, and you finding, hey, I hit some shots and I hit them good here, I hit them good here, but then I get nervous, I hit it bad, and what we want to work on. So what Cam Smith fights in his golf swing is he fights where when he goes back, he will lose width with his arms. His arms will collapse on him, where they start to shrink in closer to his body. So what happens when you do that? Well, your arms and your body get out of sync. Your arms will start to trail, your body will get ahead, okay? Now, when you do that, you're gonna see pretty much the gamut of shots. Now, we saw that from Cam. We saw him hit a lot of hook drivers. He was missing the ball left quite a bit. And that is when you're coming down and you get ahead and your hands and arms collapse. That club is behind you, and now it's got to catch up, where I've got to give it some flip to be able to try to square the face at all, and then your path starts to shift into out, and it gets really hard to manage. Now, the other thing that'll happen then is when you start to get where your arms collapse, you will start to get a little bit steeper on it as well, and you're going to start leaving that face open. That is the shot that we saw on 12. Now, I know on the broadcast they said it was his tempo. I don't necessarily think it's that. I think his tempo was the same as it's always been. I think he just lost the width in his golf swing. Now, what can you do as you're going through to kind of work on this? I see amateur players do this all the time. When they're swinging, they get up here and they say, all right, I'm going to hit it. They go up and they're going to hit the ball, and they lose all this width, and their body and their arms are no longer working together. Well, there's actually a really good tool, and this is what Cam Smith is using to work on this. This is called the Gravity Fit, okay? So this is a tool. You can see I actually keep it in my bag. I use this one all the time. Not only do I use it hitting balls, which I love about training aids, but I do use this at home just to work on my game. So all this is it's just a couple of bands. It's got this back plate on it, and you're basically looking for, you're going to feel how your posture is with your body. You got your 3 points of contact. So what I'm going to do is throw this guy on. And again, Cam Smith uses this a lot. Okay. We're going to throw this over. Okay. And then all I do is I'm going to connect these little hooks and tighten them. So now it's going to stay on my body. Okay, you can see I don't use the handles all the time. You can use the handles for workouts and stuff. I actually use a lot of it where I just use the band. I'll put it on my thumb where I can hit balls. So a couple of things that we're looking at with this is, one, I've got my back plate here and I can feel the spikes in the center of my back. Okay, so I can feel the spikes. And so what that's telling me is I need to have a little bit better posture. That is not a shock to me. You can, just looking at me, you can tell I need to work on some of this stuff. So I need to get some posture. That's going to allow my body to move a little bit better. But we're just trying to get the 3 points of contact. And then what we can do from there is we can do a couple of things. One, and again, this is what Cam Smith works on a lot, is I'm going to take this. I'm going to get my hand in here. You put your thumb down and then turn it over. It's going to do the same on this side. Actually, hold on. Let's make sure we're connected here. Okay. So thumb in, actually the whole hand in, thumb loops. Now I got these turned over, and now what's happening is I've actually got these bands pulling on me. So if my goal is, let's say when I set up, okay, so I'm going to take a golf club here, and again, I like this training because you can actually hit with it. If I take a setup, okay, I'm going to feel my setup, and what I'm actually feeling is the bands are pulling my arms back into my body. I like that because it's forcing me to keep my arms out, okay? It forces me to keep my arms out and keep some width in my swing. Now, if I do that, what'll happen is my body will keep turning, okay? Now, obviously, you have to make sure you have some arms stuff correct. You got to have the club face in a good spot. But if I do this, I can hit some shots, and I'll start off really slow, where I just feel everything stay together. Now, on that one, I felt when I got to my finish, I hit the ball pretty good, but I did feel the bands pull me back in. So I would like to keep those things even a little bit wider as we go. And so, again, Cam Smith works a lot with this tool because it just gets your body and your arms to sync up. And you can put the club onto the golf ball. So it's a great little training aid. I mean, one of my favorite parts of using it is actually in wedge play. We saw how good his wedge play was. I can hit wedges all day with this thing. And we're just trying to do the same thing as we go. And I can make really good contact. Actually, I love that contact. And just get control of how I'm flighting those wedges. So this is a tool that he uses. You know, again, when I see on the broadcast, I see a lot of people, I love to, you can just take it off, hit some balls without it, and then you can try it back on. But when I saw the broadcast, they said tempo. And I think a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, I've got to be smooth and I've got to be doing this and doing that. It's not tempo. It's you have to sync everything up. If I get to a point where I go back and my arms start doing something different than what my body is doing and they're not working together, I'm going to have issues. And so as you're starting to get out and play golf more, I want you to be thinking about ways that you can sync up everything and work on the pacing and everything of your swing so you can feel like everything is working together as you're going through. And again, I think this is a great tool and it's super easy to take off and just throw it in the bag and keep it there. So I keep it in mind. I work with it quite a bit. A great tool. I'll link it down below as well because you can get a discount on it as well. So if you have questions about it, please let me know.
All right. So there you go. So one of the big things about doing this is just like when I have people, watch golf, things like that, you hear a lot of things said by, announcers, things like that. And I've talked about it in the past. It makes, it does make us cringe a little bit as instructors where you're like, yeah, that's not something I would actually want somebody to do. So, for in this case, tempo, what ends up happening is people start thinking, all right, I'm going to bring it back slow. And then they go really fast. And it's like, no, that's still not going to work. You can have fast swings. You can have slow swings. The key is you have to sync everything up. We need everything working together. So, this is a great aid for it. One of my favorite aids to use. I think something that could really help you with your game. And, yeah, if you're interested in checking it out, check out the link down below. We do have it with a discount, so you can grab it. Great for working on your game at home without a club. And also, like I mentioned, you can hit balls with it. So I love it for that as well. So if you have any questions about it, please leave a comment down below. Also, make sure you click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. And as always, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.